Clean my glasses. All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with a message. And I'm going to try not to be too long. I got to continue to do my packing so I can get out of here. Um, so, Sister Deborah is coming with a message. And this message is Yah speak to us. Yah speaks to us through spirit and not through flesh. That means we can't use him any way our flesh desire for our fleshly emotions and our fleshly opinion, our fleshly errors, and our fleshly ways. Y'all ain't in the midst of that. Me, myself, I wouldn't dare put him in the midst of the things that I do in my flesh to be justified that my flesh may feel that it is righteous. No. The Most High deals with us the route of the Spirit. I'm learning so much in these last 2 weeks. There go that nose running, strange, regarding the power of that Spirit that rests within us. I'm learning a whole lot, you guys. I'm learning that that's what's missing. That's really what's missing. Did I know that the Spirit was the key? Always knew. Always knew. That's why when Yeshua said, who do they say that I, the Son of Man? They say Elijah, the prophet, and so on. But he said, who do they say that I am? Peter said what? The Son of the living Yah. Peter was able to touch the hem of his garment. Whose? The Father. Yeshua bounced back and said, wait a minute. Flesh and blood did not reveal that unto you, but the Father in the kingdom. We so busy wrapping the ways of our flesh, our ego, our pride, our self-centered, and the things that we want Yah to be wrapped up in. We need to get that out and throw that mess away. We need to destroy that. And this is another reason why Yah can't bless us like we've been crying out for him to bless us. Because a lot of times the blessing is right before you. But because you're using your flesh, emotion, feeling, personal opinion, your flesh you've been using all your living, that ain't got you nowhere. The flesh that has caused you to want and desire, you have not been blessed by the Most High Yah. Why? Because he is spiritual. He don't have time to be wrapping around your flesh. He will not, he cannot bless you in any of your ways. In any, the route of the flesh. His blessings come through you by spirit, while you so busy mastering the flesh. Y'all don't deal with us by the flesh. Y'all deal with us by the spirit, okay? By the spirit, and only the spirit. Right then, when I said that, all I could think about, I ain't gonna tell you I think about, I saw the hand just flash before me. The hand, Deborah. That's that power. And it too is spirit. When it work for you, say for instance, if Sister Deborah's been praying and said, Father, I want to get me, let's say a house. And I want to get a house, but I want you. I want you. And then you go to him. But when you go to him, you know that he's going to work it out spiritual. If anything he's going to do, he's going to do it by spirit. And if he don't do it by spirit, he has no part in it. That means even me. I used to sing really good when I was young and a teenager. I used to sound really good. But I can't, it's just like he took that to where I can't do nothing with it. And I asked, I said, what happened to that voice I once used to have? He knows what he wants for you. And when he gives you things, he's going to route it the spiritual way first and foremost. A lot of things we have, they are not detached to the Most High Yah. We have it because we got it the flesh right way. It came the flesh route. And guess what, y'all? We would preach and teach and say that y'all blessed me with this and y'all blessed me with this. He gave me this and he gave me this and he gave me this. But the Father wants me to tell you something right here today. The things you have has a lot to do with your flesh. Because when he gives you something, he's going to start it and end it in the spirit. See, we want his blessings to come where we are able to accept him to be who he is and all that he is. Do you know right here today? You ain't going there, are you, Deborah? Oh, yes, I am. I'm going. Right here today, we think that what we have, what we're doing, how we're doing it, what we think, our feelings, our emotion, our personal opinion, our ego, our self-centered is all detached to the Most High Yah. Right here on the earth, there are people who believe everything they got, they were fully entitled. You notice the elites and all of those one doing the highest level of wicked and even murder and killing and blood licking, flesh eating. What are they? Billionaires. Yes, you see. So I wonder Father God, did you get into this? It's not a blessing, y'all. It's a curse. It's why they have what they have. See, that's why I say it's sad how we sling Yah around like a mop. Everywhere we see a spot or we see dirt in our own living, we want to take the mop and swing it like it's just that easy to clean up. You are a liar from the pit of hell. He is not no mop to your sick mind. He do not clean up your mess. Oh, you got your mop, and anytime, I spill some water, I get my mop. Everywhere you go and you see spots on your floor, what do? You run to get your mop. Well, that's what you all use the Most High for. And guess what? You ain't using him. You using your foolish mindset. But that's in your mind. You think he comes up and clean up all your worldly action. All because you take on not knowing how to hear, quiet enough to hear, because you got to be speaking 24/24. You got to constantly keep hearing you. You see? That's why Yah cannot come in. And when he do come in, you missed it. Because you misscrew your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your personal opinion, your way of doing things, you misscrew it for Yah. Because you think that Yah is like unto a mop. Like a lot of people think certain people are nothing. It's not worth raising their voices, getting loud, saying anything. Shut up. I can do it. But don't you do it. You see? It's things that's rooted in people that even the Father himself is not here to clear up. And this is why they go through the same cycle over and over and over again. It's a cycle. And in that cycle, it's them praying and seeking Yah for something. And wondering why Yah have not come through. You see? It's because you thinking Yah route is your route. You think Yah only can respond out of your order, and if he don't respond out of my order, then there's no other order. Mm, 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 mm. People, Yah is spirit. We got to connect to him that way, or there's no way. People want you to take them at face value of the flesh, but then their actions, their words, and their motive for living, period, in a way that they have psyched their minds out to believe is the righteous way. And then Yah got to back it up and land it down based on my righteous way. And this is the righteous way of the flesh. Because when Yah pull up, he come in the righteous way of the spirit. You all, did you know that the Father, of who he is, his power, his order, is always separating? He forever, look, everything, every parable you could see in your study guide, every parable is about separating one from the other. See, y'all never thought of it like that. You know why? Ain't nobody ever taught it to you. But see, I'm finna come to the route of the spirit. I'm finna give you a little something you ain't never heard and ain't gonna hear. The route to the Father is through a spirit. Everything he created was created by his spirit. He don't have to come down here and buckle up and buckle under your order, because you keep telling yourself that you got so much power and authority to call things to be the way you say it has to be, or there's no other way it could be. To where Yah is like kicked to the corner, or kicked, he ain't kicked, in your mentality, but Yah is nowhere in your midst. Because people still, there are people 90 years old that don't know nothing about the spirit of Yah. They have no idea, but they go to church, they serve, they worship. But the entity that they worship is in the flesh. So we say we know him, but do he know us? We say we know him, but do he know us? We say out of our flesh we know him, but do he know us? And if he know us, is he residing in us to show us the route of the spirit, how to do the things that is righteous in the flesh? You know why he can't? Because the flesh is never willing to do what? What is righteous. So that's what people have a hard time even going under any type of religion, any type of belief, any type of group, any type of place of worship. No matter where they go, they're going to go in and come out, go in and come out. They're going to go to and fro, to and fro, to and fro, because they're looking for something. And do y'all know what it is? They're looking for that desire of their flesh. They looking for Yah in the desire of their flesh. They're not looking for him in the spirit realm, y'all. They're looking for him in the desire of their flesh. They don't want him to come no way until he come through them. This is why when you see even Christians, this is why Christian is the number one religion on the earth. Roman Catholic is, I think, but Christian and Roman Catholic is a oneness. The Catholic is hiding under the shield of the Christians. Here we are in the year 2026, and you got 99.9 that don't know that. The Roman Catholic has a shield. Their shield is the Christians. That's their shield. So you won't be focusing on them being the main one in the background, doing all this wicked and evil and calling all these orders and everything. You see how people work? And they don't want you to know. You're not supposed to have any sense. And you want me to tell y'all what's sad? They don't expect you to have any spiritual sense either when you have to come up on them. Then now you the devil. You're going to be the devil the rest of your life. Why? Because anytime you go over, anytime you step up to the flesh of someone who calls Yah this and this and this because they used them as a mop, it's so hard for them to not to see him the way they want to see him. They don't want to see Yah to be more than what they have become to see, because in them it's more of a relationship, flesh to to God, flesh to God, flesh to God. Every Catholics, every Christian, everybody who worship these other idol gods, Muslim, all of them, Buddha, all of them, they're not talking about the spiritual Yah. They're not dealing with that area. They have learned thousands and thousands of years to just live as things are and play the role of their God. You see? And that's the beauty of Yah knowing the heart of man. Because the heart matches the spirit of a man. In the spirit of a man, their flesh matches their spirit. See, the heart of a man matches the spirit of a man. And the flesh of a man matches the spirit of a man. So what's the deal with spirit? It's the one that's predestined and written in one book or the other. Yah is not on this earth to hear the level of what people call repenting and feeling a feeling of guilt or conscience. You know why? He know your heart. Wait a minute, how do you know the heart, Father Yah? Through the spirit, Deborah. Through the spirit. I know every human being heart. That's why I was able to write them in the books. While they down there clowning, I already got their tails written. And next to it, use the clown. Oh, no, did you go there? Yes, I did. So this is how deep understanding that Yah deal with us in the spirit. He's not going to wrestle with you in the flesh because you got your way of seeing things, understanding things, comprehending things, dealing with things. Hey, I want it this way and it's no other way. Oh, no, baby, that's flesh. And there's a lot of titles for people that are like that. He don't route that way. He route the way of the spirit. He wants us to deal with him the way of the spirit. And if we can't come the route of the spirit, we can't come at all. I know many of you all think that you can just pull up and, well, he going to have to sit down until I get it right. He going to have to do it my way until I repent or I get it right. He's a merciful. He's a grace. That's why grace and mercy is holding your nasty tails up. Just so he can go from one end to the other and close it down on the end. It ain't coming to, grace and mercy ain't coming to clean your mess up. Grace and mercy ain't coming to forgive you for what you continue to do over and over. And at the same time, you think you're praying to him, saying, bless me here. And and you think he's supposed to bless you here while you conducting yourself in the flesh over here. To go up against what you praying for him to do in the spirit. How can he do anything for you when you feel the weight of what you want, what you desire, what you see, how you believe is in your flesh? But you want this great, big, awesome, perfect, great, kind, merciful, all power to bend down, come over to your flesh level and bring you to the level where you want to be in the flesh. He said, you already know how to get there. You know the way there too. So don't think he's here to be a mop, to clean up everything you spill. Because throughout your living, you're constantly spilling all over the floor. And you think it's as easy as to get that mop, which you call Yah, and wipe up every spill that you continue to spill on the floor. Yah is a spirit, and the route of any and everything has to route that spirit. Do you know when Moses was going up to the mountain, he had told them that the Father was really planning on coming down. They said, please don't let him come. Please, Moses, we'll listen to you. Why? Because people really believe that they are in full control over this creator. That he just is dumb and stupid like everybody else outside of who they are. You see? That's how they see him. They see him at that same, at that same very level. All you have to do is watch and behold their actions throughout, not just 1 week, 2 weeks, 3, throughout their last 5, 10 years. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. Same results over and over and over and over. It's nothing there change because the person has not changed. They think that this mop I got, I can use it as a God and it'll mop up any situation I get myself in without me turning and looking in the mirror and say, wait a minute. I need to look at myself. Flesh, stand down. Never allowing the flesh to get that type of repeated action every time. Every time. Why is that flesh getting that same repeated action? Because it ain't going nowhere. It ain't no creator tampering with it. It's your mental state thinking that you can take this mop, and that is your God, and wipe up every spill you pour down or you waste, every spot that's you tend to place. Or I can just use this mop. He'll get it up for me. No, he ain't like that. We want to bring him in. We want to use this creator. We want to bring him in and pull him out whenever we want to. Sister Deborah talking about Yah only deal in the spirit realm. He only deal with us in the spirit, not our flesh. So while we down here on the earth thinking it's all about following the protocol of our flesh, you just making a straight up from the floor of fool of yourself, because it's always been spiritual. And if he was going to convert things and make things right for us, guess what? He's going to make it right first. By the spirit, in the spirit, and for the spirit. To the point where it would be even for his name's sake. Woo! You see? He ain't coming in and buckling up and buckling down to our flesh, because people have that so rooted in them. It come from somewhere and somewhere and somewhere. It's in them. They can't even look in the mirror, meaning they can't look at themselves and see, well, wait a minute, this is an issue right here. This is not right. And, this is a repeated cycle. I'm doing this over and over and over and over, and I'm getting the same results. Wait a minute, I need to look at myself. And then you can't even look at yourself in the flesh. You got to look at your rotten spirit, because your own rotten spirit is what he told us we fight against. He said, your flesh fight against your spirit, and your spirits fight against your flesh. And then he turned around and said, we fight not against flesh and blood. So it's still dealing with what? Your spirit. See, you're fighting a battle with your flesh, but it's deeper than your flesh. It's your spirit. You didn't know that, did you? You see how deep it is and why it's a repeated cycle? You see why it can't shake off? It can't delete? It can't go nowhere? Because nobody is willing to own it. They would rather, a lot of people be on here debating. Oh, it was booming way back 8 years ago. Oh, hey, it was booming. That's all you heard, debate. When they all was debating, how can darkness debate darkness? I never did get that. How could darkness debate darkness? How could flesh debate flesh. Why ain't nobody pulling this spirit up in here? Because now one of them had it. You can't pull up the ruach if you don't have it to be your means of debating. Because the ruach ain't going to be debating against the flesh. Woo! There you go again, Deborah. You telling him. Oh, no. He ain't finna back up in no nasty flesh and debate with it. He's going to debate from the spiritual realm, where the real war is at. And many of you all keep forsaking that, keep not understanding the battle is in the spirit. We're going to live and die. Lack of knowledge. Why? Because, Deborah, they reject the knowledge. Because the knowledge is spiritual. Now, they take on the worldly knowledge, 24/24. They don't have no problem with the worldly knowledge. They want that. But the spiritual knowledge is what's going on in the world. Nobody won't partaker in the spiritual knowledge. Because guess what? When you pull up in the spiritual knowledge, all flesh got to stand down. Because how can you take the flesh and debate the spirit? How do you think the spirit of Yah, or what do he look like debating the flesh? He would take your tail out of here before he sit up and debate your nasty flesh. Why would he be sitting up debating you? And he's a spirit. He's a spirit. What would he look like debating you? Why is it people want to sit out here on the earth and debate each other, argue with each other, debate each other? Because it's in their hearts. It's in their hearts that everything has to be debated by the flesh level. They don't want to go the route of the spirit, because if you go the route of the spirit, y'all gonna bring some conscience of guilt, remorse, repent, and what a sorrow. And then he gonna deal with joy. He gonna deal with greatness. He gonna deal with righteousness. He gonna pull up all up in there. He'll break something down just to build it up. Ooh, I like that, Father, y'all. I like that, Father, y'all. See, but that's how he rumbles. He'll break it down. He'll tear it down just to build it up. And we run around here thinking everything is measured by the flesh level. That's why you got so many different denominations. That's why all this stuff is going on in this world. Because we living on a way of the flesh. And we got so content with it. Because it gave its power. Did you know the way of the flesh has given people all kind of power? The power to where you see it today. Booming. That same, and you know what kind of power it is? I'm gonna go on and tell you what that's that same power. You see 500,000 children missing that came across the border. From what I heard, it was millions of children missing here out of the United States in the last, I think they say, year or two. And I'm like saying, ain't nobody said nothing. Where are the parents? Wait a minute, where's the news? Why ain't somebody saying nothing? Mm-hmm. That's the type of level of wicked that's on the earth. That's getting victory in everyday life, people's lives, right here today. That's the same, it's the same self-spirit. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? It's not a different spirit. You know how he said he poured out gifts, and the gifts came without repentance, and it's come from the what? The same self-spirit. The gift of prophecy is the same as the gift of interpretation. The gift of healing is the same as the gift of songs. Someone who can sing. All the gifts came from the same self-spirit. So let's back that thing up and land it down. Same way with darkness. Same self-spirit. When people are battling, they don't understand they're battling against the light because they are the darkness. They're not battling because they ain't got nothing better to do. They're battling just as it told us it would come this day. prophesied, and it's in there more than one, that it would come the day when the righteous would be taken out or come after and done some sort of way by those who are what? The unrighteous. Someone asked me about how you would let someone go out of your living. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what the Spirit gave me after I was packing my bags. You know what the Spirit told me? He said, do they not know that Abraham loved Ishmael? That was his first son. Didn't I tell him to let him go? I said, Father, people don't even pay attention to none of that. Didn't I tell him though? Let him go. Then he went on to telling me, didn't I tell him to come out of his father's house, out of his country, from around his kids? And then he said something that I never gave it a thought. I never gave it a thought. He said they never returned. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. He said they never returned. So don't play with Yah like a mop. Use him when you ready to clean up something. So you think. That's what I people don't understand. You got the wrong one. That's why I said it's time to swoop the coop. Go to somewhere else. You got the wrong one. Truly, there's places where, you are wanted in your ways, your understanding. But if you come thinking Sister Deborah gonna buckle up and buckle down, I can give you all kind. And that's why the Father wanted me to understand. You could have given him no's right there alone. I've always wanted mine separate. That's why I sent the Messiah to redeem minds back. It wasn't for everybody, Deborah. Only minds that is written. Isn't that a separation? Separating something? I explained that to y'all earlier. I said everything, you know how we talk about the tools and we talk about the right hand and the stretched out arm. You know what he gave me when I first got on here? He said, well, what about everything I did from the beginning to the end? I separated everything. I separated from the beginning, Deborah. I did that. So we, as those that are of the Spirit, we have to allow the Spirit in us to lead us in the way of which way to go and which way to turn away from. See, people thinking we can use this flesh way of doing things. Oh yeah, we can take this flesh and wheel this car around and make it right. We can take this flesh and make it right. But let me tell you, you can bent yourself up. Because Yah will drive his in a total different direction. Away from. And we are in that day. We're in that day. He already told me he can separate the wheat from the tare. But the darn wheat keep running up in the tare. I taught that, about a month ago? Now, I ain't got no wheat, no tare. So who can tell me something like that? Only the Most High Yah. He said the wheat and the tare has already been separated, but somewhere along the line, the wheat keep running their tail up in the tare. And the tare think that y'all not supposed to separate them by being in the midst of them, and y'all have to reveal something to the wheat to let them know you're supposed to be on that side. Why are you all up in this here? Why? Because we in the end days. He's directing us, he's leading us, and he's guiding us, but we keep running back over there to the tare. Says, surely the tare belong with us. That is not the tare, it's the wheat. Come on, tare. Come on over here where the wheat is at. We know you the wheat. Then Yah has to reveal things. Because you too stupid and don't realize There's a difference between the tare and the wheat. And the tare would tell you that they got everything you got in the wheat. Woo! No, you didn't go there, Father. I got to put on my glasses. Did you say that, Father? Yeah. Just to get you to continue to bow down to it as if it's the wheat. You know why that's the fact? Because the only thing, oh, Father, you going there too, ain't you? The only thing, okay, watch this here. So we got the wheat over here and we got the tare. He said the wheat keep going over here tampering with the tare. Now he's saying that's what's going on today. But what's going to happen? I bet you damn one of you know. What's going to happen, y'all? Y'all don't know what's going what's going to happen. What's going to happen? The same one came down to redeem. It'll be the same one to separate the wheat from the tare for sure. He's going to separate them. You see? Y'all going to separate his. That's why he called it a small remnant. The same Messiah coming back again. And he's going to separate. And the people don't even know it. The same thing that he did before. But this way, he's going to take what's his. You see? Doing the same thing. Separating the wheat from the tare. And we want to make everybody think that it's no such thing. We all human. We all alike. We all love each other. But I double dare you to tell heaven that. I double dare you to tell the kingdom that. You will lose your life trying to tell the kingdom. We all the same. We all one. We all love each other. We all care. We all holy than thou. We all the children. Use a lie from the pit of hell. And no heaven, no kingdom, and nothing coming out of it will make that any truth. Even the kingdom created it in separate books. So why would he come down here and want us to think it's lovey-dovey? That's the role play of the earth. The flesh have role play from beginning to the end and survived and got victory. That's why some people stand tall while they're standing, putting their foot on someone to keep them low. That's why. Not thinking that, wait a minute, how did I get tall? That tall is only there because something lets you get tall just so it can bring you down. He said, I built Pharaoh up just to tear him down. See, y'all don't know the route of the spirit. And that's what I need to talk more about. It's the route of the spirit. Just like I was talking about praying in the spirit. Everything has got to be the route of the spirit. And then he told me today, he said, that's why things are the way that it must be. Because no one believes in the spirit realm ever. They think it's their power, their authority, their opinion, their feelings, their emotion, their understanding. This is why everybody then made a God, their own private God. Out of one same instruction book, they got millions of different gods using one book. They created their own form of what they call God, Yah. And they ain't going to have it no other way. This is why you got so many denominations. And this is one thing he constantly hated that Israel did. They always serving all these other gods. He always, since Genesis. That's what's Yah's main thing, is all these other gods. Look where we at today. Everybody's serving all these different gods. But what's the key to it? I bet you nobody don't know. Okay, he is going to finally take his his wheat. Right. Oh, yes, he's taking his. He prophesied that. But what would you think all these different gods, all these different beliefs, and people got their own private God? Well, your God is yours and mine is mine. Do y'all know all of them say that? Okay, you see everybody say that. So what's the key? What's the key? Nobody knows, do they? Nobody really knows. What's the key? It's what he's been telling me. Stick firm to it, Deborah. The key is they got all these different gods. And they got these different gods set up according to how they want to live and to see things go and be. They want him to move by their feelings and their emotions. That's why their emotions is always detached. It's the part of the flesh that thinks it can call the power of y'all down. And all it's doing is being a fool to themselves. Because y'all ain't moved, told me that he ain't moved by my tears. He ain't going to be moved by your feelings. That people don't get it. They don't get it. No matter how you teach that, they just don't get it. As I'm speaking to you all, the Father just laid something on me, and I'm sitting here saying, you took me all the way over here, Father. Now I'm gonna have to step into it. And I love it still. I love the way he rumbled. Let me tell you what he said. He said, you telling them about all these different gods, and that's 100. All of these different gods. But there's only one God. And guess what? He's spirit. That's why they can serve all the gods they want. The reason why it's their gods and they serving them by their flesh is because he is only spirit. We can't take a man and put him on a cross and say that's Yah. We can't put a face up on my house and put it here. This is God. I can't, and you can't. We can't show pictures in the Bible and say this is God. That's for people who serves all these different gods. Muslim got his own God. Buddha have his own God. Christians have their own God. Jehovah's Witnesses have theirs. Roman Catholic have theirs. Everybody got their own gods. And the Father's sitting here telling me, say it again, Deborah. He's a God of one. He's a God of the Spirit. That's why we're missing the power. That's why we're missing the power. Because we're trying to get the power through our thoughts, through our feelings, our emotions, through our words. And the power rests in the Spirit. You got to know that power by the Spirit of it, not by the flesh. We can't seem to understand that the power of Yah must route spirit. That's who Christ was in him. That power. Christ never did pull up and say, hey, how y'all doing? I'm Christ. I'm the Son of Yah. He did it by spirit while he was in man. You see? Same way with me. If he's in me and he said, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, what is he telling you? My spirit ain't with that world. My spirit is in you. It's a spirit. It communes with your spirit. I'm greater than anything on the outside of you. So let your flesh know I'm greater than it. Because we don't want him that route. We don't want the Father, the spiritual right. Because you know why? Who knows why? Because we can't control him. Let me see you control his spirit. Let me see you tell his spirit what to do. Let me see you buckle up against his spirit. You see? He don't want to have nothing to do with you if he can't live in you. So why you think he gonna let your mouth tell him what to do? Your flesh can't tell him what to do. He created your flesh, and he didn't create it to buckle up at his spirit. What is it people don't get? So why are we using our flesh to swing this authority of Yah in our as a spirit? We swinging it in our flesh. Everything is Yah. Everything is Yah. Everything is God. Everything is God. But it's your thought, your ways, your doings, your action. And they're not thoughts for today. They repeated thoughts and action to where you still can't seem to learn. Why is that? Because you're learning through the way of the flesh, calling it the way of the spirit, when you have no sense enough to understand the route of the spirit does not come hand in hand with the route of the flesh. Where are we getting off? Continue to live like that. I sit back and I think about everything that's got to happen for tribulation. You think I'm gonna pick up this flesh? I'm glorifying his spirit right now. I'm telling y'all, it's no way, nothing I'm going to be able to do to make it from A to A to A to A without his spirit. I ain't gonna sit here. So what? I might lose. I might pass away. So what? As long as I'm living, I'm gonna tell the truth. And I'm gonna let every last one of y'all tell Snow. The route that y'all living and living in, walking in and talking in is your flesh telling you it's spirit. Y'all want you to know. Spirit do not debate or rumble with the flesh. That's why he said, Deborah, if you want to know somebody, try their spirit, baby. Try their spirit. There it is. He didn't tell us to try the flesh by the flesh, because the flesh ain't worth a dime. But you better try that spirit. So how can I try the spirit, Father? Yeah, how can I try the spirit to know the spirit? The spirit that's in you give you the ability to try the spirit that's in them. And when you stick with what I said, try the spirit by the spirit, you'll get victory. But if you wants to hear the flesh and let the flesh control and think it got power and it can just throw down and say what it wants, because it's been doing that for so long. And guess what? So long running up on the same situation. The outcome is always the same. Don't think that you can use the Most High Yah like a mop. I don't even know why I'm trying to really, that's not even something I should, but I want to tell those that's in the flesh. You can't use him because he's showing you up. He's not a mop that mops your situation up. And anytime you hurt and you feel this way, you grab him as the mop. Instead of owning your own doing, your own saying, your own action, you reach back and grab him as a mop. Clean this up for me. Because that's how flesh is. It's think it has that type of power. It don't understand you ain't got power over the spirit. Spirit take your tail out of here at a blink of an eye. So I want to just try to see what it is. I came with a few verses. Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 2. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and verse 10. Let's start with verse 10. But Yah has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. Do y'all get that? Yeah, let's go over that again. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10. But Yah has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things. You see? So tell me, somebody, what sense does it make to be debating and battling people from the flesh level and you're speaking spirit? Why is there a debate? You know what it comes from? When you usher everybody in and try, it's just like, but you're supposed to be a pastor. You're supposed to be like this. You're supposed to be a prophet. You're supposed to be like this. You're supposed to be this and you're supposed to be that. But wait a minute, ain't we all supposed to be in the body and Hamashiach? You see how messed up that is? They are come after you as a position which they know that you are, but they're coming in the house again through other ways. They ain't coming through the front door the righteous way, the way of the light, the way of spirit and truth. They coming every other way just so they can get in the house. They don't care if they got to come through the crawl space. They gonna come in and they want you that came in through the front door to serve them. Be careful. I'm speaking to somebody out there. Be careful out there. They want you to serve them. How? Because you in the house already. You came through the front door. You supposed to be did. You supposed to be like did. You supposed to be like did. Why they can be anywhere they wanted through the flesh. You know how many people have gotten out of their walk with Yah because the judgment on them was so heavy? Did y'all know that? There's a lot of people stepped out of the realm of Yah because the judgment of individuals who wasn't who they should have been, but they found a way in the house and they met up with the one that came through the door. And they want to tell the one that came in through the front door and they came through this crawl space, the back door, the back window, the side windows, the back basement door. But they want to tell the one that came through the front door that's in the house, you supposed to be like did. But then no one asked them, how did you get in? How did you get into the house? Was it like a thief in the night? You didn't come through the door, but you got into the house. How did you do that? This is what we're living with today, y'all. So when this time comes where everybody is going chaotic and things are happening, you are not going to find individuals that came through the front door. That's just how many of those who coming through every way to get into that house, every unrighteous way, every way of their flesh, their feelings, their emotions, their personal opinion, their judgmental spirit. Any way they can get in that door, they gonna come in. And they gonna think they doing right. Like they do today. So when I'm here in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10. But Yah has revealed them unto us. Now, how did he reveal them unto us? Did he just show us? Did he come on a TV? Did he get us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook? Instagram. That's how y'all showed it to us? No. He showed us to us through the Spirit. Y'all, stop trying to make him the messed up one. That's the only way we can get close to Yah and be a part of who he is, if we accept him for who he is. We don't have to give ourselves the glory. We don't have to give ourselves the praise. But my Yah, what is going on? Well, we cannot even comprehend the way of the light. The light represents a spirit. That's why when Sister Deborah tell you spirit and truth, why ain't nobody teaching spirit and truth? Do you know when I say spirit and truth, that don't mean Deborah. That don't mean nobody in the flesh. Spirit and truth don't mean nobody in the flesh. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? When Sister Deborah tell you about spirit and truth, y'all didn't know. That wasn't Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah is not spirit and truth. She speaks spirit and truth. Spirit and truth is a spirit. It's spirit and it's the truth that rests in the spirit, and the spirit holds the truth. It ain't mine. It ain't Sister Deborah, Prophetess Deborah. No. It's y'all. Then she tell you your spiritual backpack. You think it's a normal backpack, don't you? Why am I saying that? See, y'all think I'm just not coming to the knowledge of something, that everything is spiritual. No, I'm routing back to y'all what I've been routing since I've been on here. You're just hearing it a different way. See, that's what I've been saying. Spirit and truth is spiritual. Spiritual backpack is spiritual. The light is spiritual. So Sister Deborah been saying it all along. I ain't been lying to you. I've been telling you the truth from the beginning. Now he says here, but Yah has revealed them unto us by his spirit. By his spirit. Now, what do his spirit has to be for him to reveal it to us? In us. Yah is not revealing nothing but through his spirit. And when he revealed, it says he revealed it to them. So to us, in our spirit, he revealed it through his spirit. You see what I'm saying? So what is going on to where all these gods is not considered spiritual? Huh? Why is all these gods not coming to abide in our spirit, in his spirit? No God I don't care from what on the earth is a God of the spirit of man. Only one. That's the Most High Yah. He is the true, what people call God. And he's spirit. No God on this earth can claim they can come in your spirit, people. They can't turn around and tell you they coming in your spirit. Only one God. Most High Yah, Yahuwah, Ahaya. He's the only one. You see? So that leads me to tell y'all again. He's the only one. So you can't turn around and make yourself your own God, because you got your own feelings and your own emotions and your own wisdom, your own knowledge, your own understanding. And now you figure you got all that. You in there. I'm going to tell you something else to make a lot of people think that they're in there. Intelligent. Y'all bent. Y'all don't need your intelligence. Y'all don't need your education. He don't need your degree. You know why people do that? They go to these seminars and get these degrees and study and, everything they possibly can, because they ain't got the spirit. So they got to get what's good for the outside, because it ain't got nothing on the inside. They don't have his spirit on the inside. You're right. They full flesh. Fully flesh. That's why all of them got degrees. I was telling this guy that was doing my hair, I said, wait a minute, how is you being ordained by these pastors versus heaven said, I ordain you? Can it make sense? He got mad. Y'all don't get what I'm saying. See, the spirit of truth is likened to a two-edged sword. It don't care where you go and swing that bad boy, it's gonna pierce somebody. And it's gonna pierce them where they wasn't expecting it. So I say, you said that you are a ordained minister, and you got your certificate, and you went, and the pastors and the elders, they ordained you. I said, how long ago was that? He said, I've been ordained for 17 years. I said, oh, okay. So what happened to the your study guide that says, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. I predestined you and I ordained you. So what's the difference from your passion in ordaining you and the Most High said he ordained you? You know what he said? He used them. That's what Sister Deborah battled today. That is what Sister Deborah battles today. Going back to what the beginning of the topic. Yah speaks from the spirit level. Flesh speaks from the flesh level. And they make all things in the flesh level 100. And Yah don't even get 1%. That's where the world is today. So as you live on and go on in living, understand this. From now on, when you pray in the spirit. When you commune with Yah in the spirit. When you call things out for healing and deliverance, you got to go the route of the spirit. Because when you go the route of the flesh, you give yourself too much glory. Mm-hmm. You give yourself too much honor. Mm-hmm. You give yourself too much praise. Mm-hmm. This is why the power is not affected in you. Because all it takes is you to speak that thing in the authority of the spirit and watch that mountain move. But see, that's what the people didn't understand. They quote it, they preach it, they teach it, they minister it. He said, just speak to the mountain and move it. Wait a minute. What are you speaking with? Your fleshly mouth? Because can't nothing move that mountain but a spirit. And the mountain itself, it wouldn't be the authority for you to move no way. He's talking about your issues in your living is a mountain to you. Move that bad boy. Try moving that out your way. If you can't get your daily issues in living that appear to be a mountain in your life, how in the rest behind you gonna go think you gonna move a great big mountain when you can't even move a cold out of your system? You going there, ain't you, Deborah? I'm going all the way. Because we are routing him the way of the spirit. We're not seeing that to move the mountain, it's going to take that spirit. Why is it we must have so much trust in you, Father? Why is it we have to have so much belief in you, so much faith? None of y'all know, do you? 99.1 billion don't know, do you? You know why? Faith is already a substance of things unseen. Well, if it's unseen, what is it? Spirit. So all those fall on the category of spirit, y'all. These things is not for the flesh to take advantage of. Praise the Most High Yah. Thank you, Father. But do we do that? That's what people do. They take advantage of it. That's why you all don't understand why I say don't be trying to use them like a mop, because that's what they do. They think they can take a mop to make him out of a mop and just mop up any issue in their living, and it's done. And guess what? The month after, it's still there. But I thought you mopped that up. You use Yah to mop it up. That's what they do. Forever using Yah to mop up situation in their living. But the situation remained there until the next month, and then the same situation is there. Sometimes it lasts a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and you're wondering, wait a minute, why is this issue? I keep on asking my mop to mop up this issue and to make this issue like this, and it ain't working. You know why? Because you're trying to use a creator as a mop to your issues. And you've been doing it for so long. That's the only way you know. So let them keep on routing around, because once you leave one, you spill something on the floor, there's going to be something else you're going to spill. There's going to be something else you're going to spill. You're going to be mopping the rest of your living. Because if you think for 1 minute you can use my Most High as your mouth, because you think you got the power and authority and the mouth for it, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Everything happens for a reason, people. Pulling in and pulling out. One day like this, the next day like that. Everything has its purpose. And if we don't learn from it, guess what? You can't go to the next level. See, we're supposed to go up the steps, not down it. People falling all down, and you know what? Watch this here. People falling all down the steps, and guess what? They only went to the first level. Now they're back on ground level. They ain't on the 6 and the 8 and the 10 step. They was just on the first level. But now they're on the ground level. Now they got to go up the first level again. These are people who are not going to make it, because the steps of a good man has been ordered by the Most High Yah. And if the Most High Yah is a spirit, he has ordered the steps of a good man. He didn't order them to come down. Woo! Tell him, Deborah. He ordered those steps to move up. Because each step represents endurance and long suffering. Each step represents you being able to tell somebody something. Each step. So if you're on the first step and you done fell down and you're on ground level waiting to go up to the first step again, you're a long ways from any and everything that the Spirit of Yah represents. Stop putting yourself to be all that and some in Yah. Because you can say you know him, but do he know you? And if he know you, why are you still on the first step, keep falling to the ground level? Why? See, that's what people, you can really identify people trying to understand the steps that Yah send you to is steps he didn't order of a good man. Let me kind of give you a little something. Every one of his servants, if you ever had to go back to study them all, you'll know they went through some stuff. It was nothing like it is in this world. It ain't nothing like it is in this world. But people would make this world today like until yesterday for all of y'all servants, and think that they mastering what David went through. No one ever realized that David was more than just David. Oh yeah. David didn't come down here to be David the son. He came down here to be David the son. I sit back and I said, wait a minute, hold up. Everybody always using David, and he had all these wives. David left his wives, and they all end up going to neighbors, living with them, sleeping with them, everything else. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? David was always out on the battlefield. fighting his whole living. If you're going to put somebody out on the battlefield, no one ever taught it. These men won't teach this thing, y'all. They won't preach this thing. Just like they wouldn't preach it and tell you Jacob stole his brother's birthright. To me, I don't give a rest behind what any of y'all say. It don't make it a righteous move. It don't look good for Jacob. It tells you how a horrible person he is. I know y'all want to make him all that answer because he was something that y'all used and he chose. But it didn't mean that David was all that and some in the way that he was. It's just that y'all had that what in him? That spirit. You see? He had that spirit. Look at David. David gonna put a man on the front line so he can have his wife. Then one of y'all had a sense to get in there and read how David's wife ended up going to other men, neighbors, and everybody. David never did return home. Did you see his daughter? Son raped his daughter. All kind of stuff was in David's household. You see, David was so busy out fighting battles. You're gonna take one man, that same life, you're gonna be fighting. At any time, y'all could have had the army beat because who was really fighting the battle? Y'all. Y'all was fighting all of them. The battles that David was fighting and winning, that was y'all. Even the battles he lost, that was y'all. That's why I say y'all better watch who y'all messing with. Y'all trying to buckle up and buckle down on the creator, which is a spirit, and you trying to deal with him at the level of your flesh. You better watch yourself. You better watch yourself, because reason why I said that, there's coming this. We here, baby. We here. It's over, but we here. It's over, but we are here. But when you call on, you hope, you most likely, and I'm not gonna guarantee you ain't gonna hear from. So you better make sure you right where you need to be than where you think that you are in y'all. Do y'all know I'm like to the point where I can't do without you. I can't do nothing without you. I don't want to do nothing without you. Father, I'm nothing without you. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Hey, you think I think he gonna leave me? No. But I let this flesh know. That's where my trust is in. And you gonna cry out because my spirit knows that's who I trust. The one that I need. So this flesh got to stand down. All the time, stand down. A lot of you all don't even understand. It seems hard, but it's so easy. Because when you put Yah high, you don't know how high he has you with him. Did you go there again, Deborah? Yep, I think it went over his head, though. You see? Let me continue this verse. I don't want to hold you too long. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 10. But Yah has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searches. Hey, what's the big idea? Look at that Spirit, y'all. Look at that Spirit. That Spirit is not your spirit. That's your spirit. That Spirit is not your spirit. That's your spirit. But look what it does. The Spirit searches all things. Yea, the deep things of Yah. So wait a minute, Father, you mean there's some deep things? I told you, Deborah, it's deeper than deep, didn't I? Didn't I tell you that it's deeper than deep? The Spirit searching the deep things of you, Father Yah. Verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man? That's just exactly. A man in the flesh. You don't know a thing of a man in the flesh. And he's not talking about male or female. He's just letting you know. You don't know anything of the flesh of a man. But listen to what he says. Listen to what he says. Save the spirit of a man, which is in him. See? I just said something to you all and it went flying straight over your head. You didn't even get it. But I'm going to say it over. Watch this here. Verse 11. For what man, flesh, knoweth the things of a flesh? Watch this. Watch it. Save the spirit of a man, which is in him. See, that spirit, your spirit knows who you are. Your spirit knows who you are. That's why it can be with you and it can be against you. It's only against you when the spirit of Yah is in you. Woo! Did you go there, Deborah? Yes, I did. Yeah, I went there again. Verse 11. For what flesh knoweth the things of flesh, save the spirit of a man. See the power of that spirit of you, of a man. It's not male and female, a human. Watch this here. But wait a minute, knows of him. Even so, the things of Yah is known. The things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah. Okay? The things, wait a minute, let me go back over there. Save the spirit of a man which is in him. Now, Father, this is just crazy. Now, the Father just opened y'all eyes to something. And y'all still looking at me all cockeyed. You still don't know. It's actually telling you the spirit of a man which is in him knows him. Even so, the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah. This is actually letting you, watch this here. Watch this, save the spirit. He's letting you know, you're telling them already that I deal the route of the spirit. And when I speak to them, I'm coming the route of the spirit. You just revealed to them that their spirit of a man, which is in them, their flesh don't know about that spirit, but their spirit knows that they are a spirit in that flesh. Watch this here. Even so, the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah. So the spirit, say the spirit of a man which is in him. For what man knoweth the things of the flesh, save the spirit of a man? So not only did Yah allow his communication and his dealing to deal with you by his spirit, he's letting you know even your own spirit knows your spirit. Your own spirit knoweth your spirit. Look what it says. You don't know, a flesh don't know flesh, but the things of a man, flesh don't know. Look, for what man, which is flesh, knoweth the things of the flesh, save, except the spirit of a man which is in him. See, you know what I like about that? The topic is Yah speaks through the spirit. He deals with us through the spirit. The only thing that really deals with you as well and know you is your own spirit. And Yah goes through your spirit to deal with you. Yah is all and forever coming the route of the Spirit. He is not coming through the other basement door. He ain't coming the ways that man has taught people to believe is the way to Yah. We're using every way except for the way that was created, and the only way. He said your spirit knows. So that's why your spirit is your worst enemy. Because it knows something your flesh refused to know. That's kind of sad, ain't it? Your own spirit knows what your flesh reject and what your flesh refuse to know. And I'm sitting here trying to tell you all, Yah speaks from the spirit, not the flesh. He's showing you his dealing with you is always going to be him to your spirit. Your spirit knows the flesh. That's why your flesh is your worst enemy, because it fights against your spirit. Always the battle. But when Yah come in your spirit, then your flesh has to buckle up. And you in the spirit now got help from the spirit of God in you to get your flesh under the subjection to the Most High Yah. So what did he say in verse 12? Let me see if that's verse 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world. Okay, now he's stepping in a different level. But the spirit which is of Yah, that we might know the things that freely given unto us. Oh, he separated the spirit of the world. Now, is that what he said? Let's read it again. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yah. So there go the two spirits. Do y'all see that? So you see how I never used this, y'all. I never used this here. It's broke down the two spirits. Just like the serpent seed and the spiritual seed, it broke it down again. So what happened to where all these denominations, these religion, these beliefs, what happened that they haven't come to the conclusion of the twos? And it's clearly spoken in it. Throughout. But they tell you to hook to Torah. But Torah don't know this. I ain't gonna say Torah don't know it, because I think David and all them knew all of this from what I'm reading lately. Not lately like today, but in the last 10 years. They knew a lot of this. But because I was in the building church, listening to all this nonsense, being able to measure it and judge it, I never went against the pastors, the bishops, the prayer warriors. And it's a beautiful thing. The Father allowed me to learn. I wasn't there to be taught. I wasn't there to gain what they were saying. I was there by the Spirit, to learn by the Spirit how the spirit and the flesh of people conduct themselves out of the order of the righteous Yah. You see? So long time, for many years, my kids would say, Mama, every time we come out of church, she said, now what you gonna tell us that we learned? Because I wanted them to hear the pastor, and I wanted them to hear how he was lying. I never said to them he was lying. I said, okay, now this is what is in your study guide. Is this what he said? Just look. I brought the book so they can see. He couldn't even come out the book. That's what I did all their living. Always showing them that things that was being said wasn't really what it was. Giving them the opportunity to see that it was something across the pulpit taught that the book wasn't said. All the time. Even today, people talk a lot of trash and they ain't gonna even find it. Not even in their own study guide. Okay. So here in verse 12 says, we have received not the spirit of the world. So there's two spirits, just like the serpent seed and the spiritual seed. That's the two spirits. Okay. So this here shows you here, and it's no reason why somebody cannot see the two spirits. That's what I'm saying about that verse. Now I'm gonna go to Romans chapter 8 and verse 14. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 14, let me see what it is saying. I didn't even go over these verses. I really didn't. But I'm glad that we went over Second Corinthians because it's saying a lot. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 14, it says, "For as many are led by the Spirit of Yah." Now, do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? Listen to what it says. For as many are led. See, you can't just pull up and say you up in there. They ain't gonna get it, Deborah. My topic is y'all speak from the spirit, not from the flesh. That means you can't turn around and think Yah is thinking like you thinking, feeling like you feeling, and caught up in your interpretation and your belief in your denomination, your wisdom, your knowledge. No. He comes the route of the spirit. So all of you don't mean a rat's behind to him. So listen to what this says in verse 14. Romans chapter 8 and verse 14. For as many as are led by the Spirit. Do you see? And this is what we keep doing. We keep ushering people in that is not led by the Spirit. Why are we ushering them in? Because their mouth saying one thing. And we just assume that they're in there. But it says, are led by the Spirit of Yah. They are the sons of Yah. Do y'all see that? The sons of Yah. Now, there's another mystery right there. And I don't see why nobody can get that. I don't understand why y'all can't get it. Because even here in 14, Romans chapter 8, verse 14, he's sitting here letting you know. Those that are led by the Father's Spirit, they are considered to the Most High Yah, the sons of Yah. So how in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 2, I think it is, the sons of Yah end up being fallen angels. The son, it's letting you notice somebody is led. 14, as many are led. He's talking about men, women that are led by the Spirit of Yah, like Sister Deborah. A human that is led by the Spirit of Yah. Now I'm gonna clear up Genesis chapter 6 right quick so y'all can see where the problem was allowed all the time. And it says they are the sons of Yah. See, y'all keep believing all this trash, and it's okay. You can believe the trash. The trash is for those he has created the trash for. If there's someone teaching trash, guess what? He gave that person that's teaching trash a multitude of those that eats the trash from the one that's teaching the trash. See, that's how people don't know that. They have no idea. Just like he talked about the two spirits. They have no idea that this still is the will of Yah. Now look at what it says. They are the sons of Yah. Now, how you going to take the sons of Yah here and make them the sons of Yah in Genesis chapter 6 when he ended the world, and you're going to make these extra wild sons of Yah, fallen angels? Want me to tell you where it's wrong? They lied. The sons of Yah is somebody like me that the Spirit of Yah has led to come down to do the work for me, for him. And what you see I'm doing is what I was called to do. But in Genesis, they did the same thing. Those were also like Sister Deborah. But when they saw the flesh of sick men selling their daughters, the daughters wasn't even. See, a lot of y'all don't understand what they were doing. And that's why I say, Father, so you mean to tell me heaven and earth going to pass away and the truth will never be told? Nope, it won't. Because I look at it thousands and thousands of years, and no one ever did check the men in Genesis 6 and see that the issue was the men selling their babies. They were babies. They weren't, a lot of them weren't women. They were young girls, babies. Just like the days of Noah is what they doing now. Selling these, sex trafficking these kids. Same thing. See, y'all, they don't match. People won't put the stuff two to two together and just tell the truth. No, y'all rather hear the lie. Now, guess what? This is what made them out of the order of the sons of God, because they came down to represent the Spirit of God. They came down as the sons of Yah, like I am. But if I decide to go out there and get involved with this sex trafficking, I'm no longer the son of Yah. I lose my first estate, my place that I had in the kingdom. I loses it because I'm down here representing as a son of Yah, predestined, ordained, foreknew, and he sends me down here as the son and of who he is. I'm his a son of Yah, and I get down here doing everything the world is doing. So that's what happened to those sons of Yah back in Genesis chapter 6. But theirs were even darker than those sons of Yah today. So I want to let y'all know this is what he said. He said, Deborah, I have sons of Yah today doing the same thing. Same identical. Just to let y'all know, it's not just the world. It's not just the world who have sex trafficking. He said he has sons of Yah, those who come down, appointed and anointed to serve the Father himself. They come down and Yah see them as his sons of Yah, but they're going to get caught up, and they have gotten caught up with the way of the world. So they lose their eternal state. Same thing in Genesis, matches to the T. They just lie. That's why they want to tell you, oh, the fallen angels and the giants was here and all this here. The giants might have existed then, but it had nothing to do with the fallen angels. Fallen angels had nothing to do with the sons of Yah. I don't know why they detach all that. Even in Job, he said that he was with the sons, Yah was with the sons of Yah. Like with me, I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all no monkey lie that the Yah don't visit me and sit down and talk to me and deal with me. I tell y'all all the time, so what, you don't believe it? Who gives a rat's behind? If he wants to deal with me and talk to me and communicate with me and teach me things, that's what he does. That's what he does. In the book of Job, people sitting, they so stupid. He was out there with the sons of Yah was with the sons of Yah, and Satan came in the midst. Satan came in the midst, but the sons of Yah was the sons of Yah, like I am. See, this is why I tell y'all, they can take away anything about you. That's why I'm so glad that the Father has made me to be a person off to myself. It's because people can take everything from you and make you everything that they want to make you to be. But guess what? It's matching the biblical, your biblical study guide. That every one of Yah's is always and shall always, to the very end, be looked at as the bad one, just so people can walk in their in their darkness. You're only the light. You're not the you become the darkness instead of the light. And that's what he said. Deborah, they have turned bitter into sweet and sweet into bitter. So Deborah, they did not just mess with sweet. They flipped bitter to be sweet. And they took sweet and made it bitter. I said, but Father, wait a minute. So they flipped both of them. They messed with both of them. Yes. They made good to be evil and evil to be good. So Deborah, they didn't just mess with good. They messed with evil too. They made evil good. So when you listen, really pay attention to that, you tend to see that they didn't just tamper with good. They didn't just tamper with sweet. They didn't just tamper with the things that was righteous. They flipped it to be the opposite, and that's the way y'all living. That's the way you're living. And you're calling somebody like me the bad one so you can sit in your bad darkness. Because the only way you can sit comfortable in your darkness, you got to make the true light to be darkened. So you can represent the light and sit therein. And that's not of Yah. That's not, and it's not going to work. So even with Job, when they talked about the sons of Yah, they don't want to accept that. They want to make them fallen angels, giants. They make them everything. But see, the same thing with Job. I can sit here as a living witness, not a dead prophet, but a living prophet. Same thing with me. I tell y'all every time, y'all told me this, he taught me this, he showed me this. I didn't know this, but he taught me this. What do you think that is? Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. Is he not with the Son? His Son? Same thing with Job. He was with them, dealing with them, teaching them. They was probably in a oneness, in a place where they were serving and worshiping Yah as a oneness. But why did they make them something that they ain't? And then he turned around and said, man, he should not always strive with man because he's flesh. So he's showing you they came down here to represent me, but they detached their tails to the way of the world. And that's what's on the 10th level of this world today. So it has to repeat itself. That means those that represent Yah, they have to go the way of the world, even though they were sent down here to represent the sons of Yah. They have to. That's what matches the day of Noah. See, we took everything in the day of Noah to be everything that he didn't tell us. We had to take the beginning. What beginning was that? Okay, if you got to take the beginning, you got to start with men, fleshly men. You got to bring them to this day and time and say fleshly men. Okay, Father, what was the men doing then? Bring it to this day, Deborah. What are the men doing today? You have to allow them to match the day of Noah. You can't jump way down at the bottom of it and say, when he was building the ship and his children. No, the Father said, take your tail back to the beginning and start there. Because it's everything they were doing. It's going to be done in this day. This actually taking place. But they refuse to bring them together. Because that's just how much of Yah's righteous been spoken and been laid out for us, and we turn to the vomit. We turn to the crab and eat it and move away from it. Y'all, you know what's something I heard today? Just threw me off. It threw me off, but thanks be to the Most High Yah. He said, get in your lane. Get on in your lane, Deborah. Get in that lane. Because I said, Father, that is deeper than deep. The young man that lost his life, his mother and his father and the attorney and these two Europeans on each side was at you know how they be talking. The saddest part about it, I'm looking at this and realizing that everything they were saying didn't mean a rat's behind. I'm like saying now, y'all don't have nothing to bring forth. Nothing. If that was vice versa, oh man, they'll have the boys, mama locked up, the grandmama locked up, the granddaddy locked up. And what's so deep about it is what I told y'all before. This is one of them cases that this attorney here, I don't trust him. I don't even think he is an American. I believe he's from Africa. I really do. I don't think he's a good. He's the darkness of the darkness. I don't care what happened. The mother got up there. She had just said yesterday that they're gonna hold back on his funeral service until the autopsy and everything come back and they get news of what has happened. Do you know she today decided she gonna have the funeral, and we're going to have a party afterwards. Y'all don't see? If you don't see, I be trying to tell you something wrong with Judah, y'all. Judah, something wrong. Something is wrong with Judah. To be on nationwide television saying, now I ain't done yet. She said that we're going to have his funeral. It's going to be over here. It's going to be for families and friends, and you all are invited. And we're going to have the what is it? The people, the reporters. We're going to have all the reporters there, and it's going to be a live event. And instead, he ain't going to want us crying and moaning. We're going to have a party. And then you know what she said? We have a YouTube, not a GoFundMe, and many of you all have donated. Continue to donate. I know some of you all might not have, but please continue to donate. Do y'all know what type of money then came into that lady and her husband? Do y'all really know what type of money? Then the attorney jumped up and said, Al Sharp is going to be doing the eulogy. Yeah, that's about right. Because her and her son and her husband were not anything in Yah. So that's about right for the world to do that. And what's his name? Tyler Perry paid for the funeral. Now, why are you telling people to send money through GoFundMe? Why? And then when Sister Deborah say give an offering or give a donation, then all the demons get to going all between their legs, like somebody asked them to give them something. You see, that's why I say this is why you know people are sick. They ain't gonna give a dime for the food for their spirit, but they will go. Y'all, this lady got so many GoFundMe going on. I'm telling y'all, money's coming from all movie stars, singers, and you sitting on nationwide television telling people to continue to give to GoFundMe. And I sit back and say, this is a setup. And I told y'all the other day when I was talking about it, this lady and this father, this man then spoke to them, this attorney then spoke to them about how you will never want for anything. Y'all gonna be rich after this. And that's all they can see. That's all they can see. Because there's no way I would be having even a funeral for people to party hardy. And my son, do you think the Europeans would have did that? Who gives a rest behind what they would and would not done? But this is showing y'all there's no Yah in the midst of none of this. So with me, I ain't gonna get nowhere in it because this is so worldly. This is so demonic. This is so dark. I sat and I told y'all yesterday it's a 3-level thing. The ones, all the one that did it, all the parents that knew it and knew who did it and was okay with it, and all the children that knew their parents knew and that the one that did it, they know, and it wasn't no one person did it. It was a 3-step, and many people were involved. And people want you to accept grafting in nothing. You better graft your tail in with Yah, because that's gonna be your best bet. But y'all, that's crazy. So I sit back and I looked at that, and the Father said, "Get in your lane." I said, "Okay, Father, I'll get in my lane. I'm finna get in my lane because that's too deep for me." Every time I think about when I say give an offering or a donation, people get to acting all cockeyed and stupid. But it tells you which spirit is in them, because they would give to that crap before they give to the living. Ah, that's giving them spirit and truth. That's how messed up. That's how gone the world is and don't know it. So here, I want to finish this right here. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 14, for as many as are led, I like the word led, by the Spirit of Yah, they are the sons of Yah. Now go back to Genesis and do your study, and you'll see where it's the sons of Yah. So where did they get that mixed up? The sons of Yah is just like Sister Deborah. We are humans. We come down here predestined, ordained, foreknew, and sent down here to be a servant. Those are the sons of Yah. Look at the first sentence. For as many are led by Yah. What is it you don't get? Same thing in Genesis. Those sons of men were led by Yah and decided to do what? What the flesh of men were doing to their babies. Sex trafficking. That's why you got sex trafficking today. That's why a lot of people wouldn't think of Jacob stealing his brother's birthright. Didn't somebody steal Israel and Judah's birthright? See, y'all think y'all just overlook everything. He just so stupid and dumb, and y'all so smart. That shows you how dumb y'all are, that y'all couldn't put 2 to 2 together. But then you run around here like you really know something. So you think. Verse 15, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Abba, Father. We have received something of Yah. It's in us. It can't nobody do nothing about it. Somebody think they can take, you remember back in the days where they take the lives of the prophets and all the servant of men? Today, guess what? You ain't done nothing. Allow them to go back where they come from, to the kingdom. See, this is the ignorance of people. Listen to what it says in 15. For ye are not received, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. So he don't want us to be down here trying to be fearful of these spirits that's down here. Why? Because we the spirit that represent him. We're led by him. So why are you being afraid of the dark spirit and you led by me? If I'm in you and I'm greater in you than he is in the world, why are you running from the dark spirit in the flesh? That's what most people do. But they call themselves the spirit. They think the Father live in them. They run from even righteous. They run from just. They run from upright. They run from anything that fall under the category of Yah's righteous will. They run from it. And it's a sad thing. And he says that you're not in that. Again, I didn't put you in bondage again to fear. But ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Abba. Verse 16, the spirit itself bears witness with our spirit. So my topic was covered. Yah speaking from the spirit, not the flesh. So we cannot speak on his behalf to the point where we want him to wipe up our spills. He's not coming in. We can't use him like a mop. Every time we spill our ugly mouths, we want to take him and pull him out, wipe it up for me now, clean it up. We run around here doing all this wicked and sin and this abomination and this Satanism and witchcraft and sorcery. Then we have nerve to get the mop out. Yeah, I prayed to y'all. Y'all said this and y'all said, what? Using y'all as if he's your mom. Now listen to what it says here in 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yah. It's a spirit thing, y'all. So we can't run around here thinking that we're going to make him like unto a mop. He got to fall under our order. He had to sit down. I need you to get in the kitchen and mop up this issue I got. I've had this issue throughout my life. I keep going through this and going through that. I'm tired of it. Here, let me pull out that mop. And thinking that the mop is going to represent every darn wicked and evil thing that you keep spilling. And you think, yeah, it's just like a mop that's going to wipe your trash up for you. And you continue to do it with a just reason in your flesh that it's nothing wrong with it. Now listen to it. Verse 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit. How do it bear witness with our spirit? Because Yah is a spirit, you guys. He connects to our spirit. No, he don't connect to your flesh and your flesh ways and your flesh wisdom, your flesh knowledge, your flesh understanding, your flesh feelings, your flesh emotions, your flesh personal opinion, your flesh nothing. If you can't find him in you through his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding, get your tail somewhere and sit down. He's not in you. He don't come when you call him. People so busy being so right in this world because they think that who they are makes them, the top dogs. Yeah, I got you as a dog. And you ain't on top of nothing but hell. You just don't know it. How about that? How about that? So he says here in 16, for with our spirit, that we are the children of Yah. He just told us we the sons, and he told us we are the children through the what? Through the Spirit. So why do we insist on dealing with Yah through the flesh realm? Why do we think that we can get to Yah from the level of the flesh? Why do we think that he has to worship us, honor us, bow down to us, teach us, come go with me, go my flesh route? So I won't feel my emotions can be satisfied. You know how I talk about the itchy ears, the itching ears? Same way. Everybody's so in tune to get their flesh so tuned in to the way that pleases the flesh, they didn't forgot totally the spirit. And you know what, y'all? In where this day we're in today, nobody come the route of the flesh. That's why he wants me to bring this forth. Yah speak it from the spirit, Deborah. Tell them that I speak it from the spirit and not from the flesh. So I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in this evening. And those that are in the live, I appreciate each and every last one of you all. Sister Deborah said, you all have a wonderful night. What time is it? Yep, night. And Sister Deborah Finn to get ready so I can get on the road tomorrow. And I say unto you all, shalom and shalom.